that noonday, searching for the truth.
Not knowing who we are got us groping at noonday. Working 9 to 5s got us groping at noonday. The food all defiled got us groping at noonday.
Feed your spirit, turn your radio at noonday. That laws, that shield and buckler, get you ready for doomsday. Sat me in the midst of the valley. We smoke since foes like Cali. Another black man dead, so that's another tally. Don't get caught in the alley, cause they smoking hot back. Them guns cop back. We teaching on the corners where they cop back. They try to kill our brothers, so with them scriptures we shot back. Purple and gold across the globe. You can't top that black man and unity. This verse is my eulogy. The kingdom for people who never had an opportunity. 12 gates for the 12 tribes. We rule the people that oppress us. Yeah, I know you feel the vibes. Better choose a side. Don't wanna repent because the pride indoctrinated us. Our brother Esau, he really hated us. On the short.
I want to show you something because our brothers had the right idea. Martin Luther King had the right idea. Malcolm X, the Benjamin brothers, Marcus Garvey, they all had the right idea. They loved their people. And anybody who loves their people, we love them. Read.
Ezekiel chapter 37 and verse 10. So I prophesied as he commanded me, and the breath came into them, and they lived.
Start before that. What's that, 10? I want you to start at verse like 8.
Verse 8. And when I beheld, lo, the sinews and the flesh came upon them.
So, what this is talking about in Ezekiel 37, if you're familiar with the Bible, he told Ezekiel to go prophesy to a valley of dry bones, right, which was an allegory for the children of Israel, the blacks, right, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Now, he said, once he started prophesying to those bones, they started to shake. They started to try to wake up. That's what was happening with our Black Panther movement, our AIM movement, our SNCC movement, the Nation of Islam, the Back to Africa movement. All these movements where our people were trying to gather together. And he said the flesh and the sinews started to come upon them. They started to know who they were. They started to understand that they were different. But read.
And the skin covered them above, but there was no breath in them.
But he said there was no breath in them. So when it says there was no breath in them, go to Proverbs chapter 6 and verse 3. 6 and 2. 7 and 2. We got to know what this breath of life is. What is this breath of life that he's referring to? Read.
Proverbs chapter 7 and verse 2. Keep my commandments and live.
It says, keep my commandments and live. So the commandments was this breath of life. We didn't have that in us yet. So all our brothers that came before us, they were trying to have black unity, have black power, but what would happen? The CIA come in and shut them down. CIA would, what is that called? COINTELPRO would come in and shut them down. They would set up spies in. You know what I'm saying? Like they killed the young brother in Chicago. They would send spies in. They would send people in to disrupt the movement, just like they trying to do today. But they can't stop what God has set up. Now we rising up. Go back to Ezekiel 37 and read verse 10 now.
Ezekiel chapter 37 and verse 10. So I prophesied as he commanded me, and the breath came into them.
So now the breath is coming into us in the form of the Israelites. They try to say black Hebrew Israelites. Would you say white English American? You wouldn't say that. You know what I'm saying? But that's the equivalent to what they call us. When they say black Hebrew Israelite, they're trying to diminish you. They're trying to belittle you by saying what you're saying is not real. Oh yeah, you're a black Hebrew Israelite. That means you're not a real Israelite. No, we are the Israelites. You ain't got to put no black in front of it. You ain't got to put no Hebrew in front of it. We are the Israelites. We can stand up boldly and say that we the Israelites now. Because the breath is coming back into us. What is that breath? God's laws, statutes, and commandments, brother.
That's right.
That's the one thing that our brothers was lacking. That's the one thing that Malcolm was lacking. That's the one thing that Martin Luther King was lacking. They loved their people. They tried to do right for their people, but they didn't have the proper tools. And that's because, give me that in Acts where it says, I saved you last. First Corinthians. 1 Corinthians. Is it 4? 1 Corinthians 4, I saved them last. It's all by design why we went through this. I want you to read that.
1 Corinthians chapter 4 and verse 9. For I think that God has sent forth the apostles last.
He said, I think that God, this is Paul talking. He said, I think that he said the apostles forth last. Read.
As if were appointed to death, For we were made a spectacle unto the world.
So now, what you seeing is the Israelites being made a spectacle in front of the world.
That's right.
So did you see what happened at Barclays Center last week? Have you been keeping up on the internet in Brooklyn? How our brothers stood tall for Kyrie Irving, how we surrounded the Barclays Center. Have you seen any clips of that on the news?
They weren't putting that on the news, but I know.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? But it's been all over the internet and social media and stuff like that. Okay, it's all good.
I get all the news. I get all that news, but I haven't seen that.
Okay,
I see all the other things.
No, it's all good. It's all good. But what we trying to show our people is that we are standing up and we're being made a spectacle. Now to the point where they call us a hate group. Now to the point where they say we anti-Semitic. That's why I was going to ask, what is Semitic? Because they try to use that as a play on word. It just means the sons of Shem. The sons of Shem. Do you know how many sons Shem had? All right. A lot of people come from Shem. White people come from Shem. Black people, so-called black Israelites come from Shem. So-called Chinese people come from Shem. So-called Japanese come from Shem. So-called Arabians come from Shem. You know what I'm saying?
Saying Asia.
Not just Asia, but just, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's a lot. That's a big part of it. But the point is that there's a lot of people that come from Shem that could be called Semitic. What they are angry about is that we are calling them out about who are the Israelites, who are really the Israelites. Because you got Jewish people over in Israel right now saying that they are the true sons of God. But this is what God said. Go to Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15.
Bring it out.
Keep going. All right, it's all good, bro. No problem. But I want you to check out that flyer, bro. I want you to check it out. On the back, we got our website. We got a school that's open at 3 o'clock every Saturday where you can come learn your history, bro. But read.
Deuteronomy 28:15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
So I want you to listen, black man and black woman. I want you to listen. There's a controversy about you. You blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. I want you to think about it. You call yourself a color. Nobody on the earth calls himself a color. Where's white land? Where's yellow land?
Bring it out.
Where's tan land? You the only people that call yourself by color. Where's your nationality? Where's your history from? So there's a controversy about you and who you are. There's something that the masses want to keep hidden from you to tell you, nah, you're not those people. It's okay for me to call myself a Muslim. I can call myself a Buddhist. I can call myself a Christian, a Seventh-day Adventist. I can call myself German. I can call myself Asiatic. I can call myself Asian. I can say I'm an Aborigines Australian. I can say I'm from Pakistan. They won't care. But the moment I say that I'm an Israelite, there's a problem. Why is that? Because there's a controversy with you black men and black women. Read that again.
Deuteronomy 28:15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So he told us that all these curses would overcome us and overtake us if we did not keep his commandments of God. Let's read one of these curses and see if the so-called Jewish man went through these curses. Go to Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 48. Read.
Verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things.
I want you to listen up. I want you to listen real good. One of the curses that God put upon the Israelites for not keeping the commandments is that you're going to serve your enemies. He said in the want of all things, if you want bread, if you want water, if you want clothing, anything you want, you're going to have to serve your enemies. Tell me when a Jewish man went through that. I'll wait. Tell me when a Jewish man had to go to his oppressor for everything. Because you'll say, oh, the Holocaust. No, they didn't have to go to them for everything.
Right.
Right? They went through...
Nation is men leading by example. Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is children with role models. Nation is unity. Nation is